Okay, we are continuing. This is part 2 of the questions and answers on Rosh Hashana. The first part, there was technical difficulties. We had to switch the camera. We have a new camera, and now we'll continue the video on the questions we were doing in the first part. The first 12 questions on the questions of Rosh Hashana, and after Rosh Hashana we'll be doing the questions of Yom Kippur. And you go on Torah anytime right now, as you are right there, go to my header, where you see the picture, you'll see the questions and answers on Chodesh Elul, and on Rosh Hashana, and on Yom Kippur. So now let's continue this year with the new camera. Question number 13. During Musaf of Rosh Hashana, why do we say Pesukim in the order of Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im, rather than the normal way, Torah, Nevi'im, Kesuvim, which is the correct order? Isn't that a good question? I don't know if you're aware of it, but we say 10 questions, 10 Pesukim of Torah, 10 Pesukim, that's called Malchus. The 10 Pesukim of kingship, where the pasuk is Melech is used, and then 10 Pesukim of, if they come from the Torah, the 10 go like this. Malchus questions. First they take 3 from the Torah, 3 from Kesuvim, 3 from Nevi'im, and 1 more of Torah. Torah, instead of Torah, Nevi'im, Kesuvim, is Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im. That's all about Malchus. Then comes Zichronos. Every word says, like God remembered. They take 3 Pesukim of Torah, 3, that means Chumash, 3 Pesukim of Kesuvim, and 3 Pesukim of Nevi'im, and 1 of Torah, that's 10. That's about Zichronos. Then come Shofros. The 10 times the word Shofar is used. And 3 Pesukim of Torah, 3 Pesukim of Kesuvim, 3 Pesukim of Nevi'im, and 1 of Torah, that's 10. 10 is 30. 30 Pesukim, that's why we blow 30 times before the Shemona Esrei. Why is the order Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im, and not Torah, Nevi'im, Kesuvim the normal way? I want to tell you a genius answer of my father, Zeichet Tzadik Kodesh Rocha, in the Sefer Mayon Beis Asher Evel. This is insight, what you're going to hear. Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im is similar to Tekiah, Shvarim, Tekiah. Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah. The Torah only says Yom Teruah Yilechem. Just says the word Teruah. It doesn't say Tekiah. It doesn't say Shvarim. It says Yom Teruah, the day of a Teruah, blast. Doesn't mean a blast. A party means the Torah shofar blast. A Yom Teruah 3 times, and you have to have the key in the beginning and the key at the end because that's known. And it says 3 times, so that's 9. 3, 3, 3. And now through the ages, we don't know what Teruah means. Does Teruah mean Teruah? Or does Teruah mean Shvarim? Or does the Teruah mean Teruah Shvarim? So we do 3 of one way, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah. 3 is 9. And Tekiah, Shvarim, Tekiah, 3 times is 9, is 18. And Tekiah, Shvarim, Teruah, Tekiah, that's 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 18 to 12 is 30. That's how you get minimum of 30. And you've done your duty. Now, why is it, my father says, that the Pesukim don't follow Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Kesuvim, follow Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im, because it's equal to Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah, whatever the Teruah is in the middle. The Tekiah in the beginning is a call from God to man, wake up. That the middle sound, Teruah, or Shvarim Teruah, and by the way, is Shvarim is woo, 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 and Teruah is do, 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 and then another Tekiah. All clear. God accepted your crying, your supplication, your pleading for life. That's why Shvarim is like a breakdown. You're sobbing and then you break down in tears. Now there's many ways to blow a Tekiah. Tekiah seems to be the best way is a monotone. Some hold you need a hook on the beginning. Some hold you need a hook at the end. Or just playing. There's 3 types of Tekiyahs. Whatever the Masorah is, that's what they do. Then shvarim could be ooh, 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 or ooh, 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 or tuhutu, tuhutu, tuhutu. There's a few ways. And the teruah could be do, 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 do. Or according to Rav Sadi Gaon or Rambam, ooh, 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 ooh. There's other ways to do it. Teimanim have different. Certain Hasidic groups have different. Very many ways the Masorah came down. They didn't write musical notes. So it sounds like a ram's voice when he's in trouble. He makes that loud sound. Sounds like a shofar. A ram, a big male goat. That's the only place you can get a kosher shofar. You cannot get it out of any other kosher animal, like a bull, because it's not a shofar. It's a keren, a solid horn, a solid bone. This is a horn. See, it's hollow. A keren is a bone. You can't use deers, which are kosher. They're antlers. They're solid bone. Only from a ram. According to the Rambam, you can't touch the shofar. You have to take it the way you cut it off the animal. Natural curve. Others hold you can take a shofar off of a ram, a big one, and then you put it in some liquid, warm water for weeks or months till it becomes like a noodle, and then you can shape it any way you want. Some hold you can't touch it. It's got to be the way it's grown. And some have very, 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 very big curved shofars. The halacha says you shouldn't get a large one. It'll show too much gaiva, like you're putting on a show. It should be something not too big. You should try to machniya yourself, lower yourself on Rosh Hashana. You're not such a big shot. Maybe Chas v'Shalom got something in mind for you. Maybe if you become more modest, it would be better for you. So you shouldn't have it too small, shouldn't have it too big, but the big ones, we stay away from them. That's too much showmanship. It's too much shtick. You'll see the very big Talmid Chacham use very small ones, like this. Because what are you making a show? Well, why do you need it? People should see it, 6 foot long thing. We don't go for that stuff. It says there, look at Mishabur, Ramah, they're small, little better. Now, why do you have, what does it mean, Tekiah, true Tekiah is like Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im. The beginning to Tekiah is a call from Hashem. Just like Torah and Nevi'im. God is calling in the Torah, Vayom Hashem al Moshe, He's calling you. And in the Navi it says, Ko Amar Hashem. God is speaking to man at the beginning and the end. In the middle, man is speaking to God. All of Kesuvim never has the word Vayom Hashem or Ko Amar Hashem. It's David's Tehillim. He's talking to God. Or Mishlei, or the 5 Megillas, or Edir Hayomim, or Eov, Ezra Nehemiah. There's no Ko Amar Hashem, or Idah Vayom Hashem. It's man's call to God. Torah is Nevuah, that's Tekiah. Shvarim, a Teruah in the middle, which they call Teruah, that's a genetic term for anything in the middle there. A Teruah, that is man's call to God. You're crying to God, please God, save my life. That's the Kesuvim. And then comes Tekiah. God calls man, okay, you did tshuva, I accept you. That's my father's explanation. Why you have Torah, Kesuvim, Nevi'im, not Torah, Nevi'im, Kesuvim. Both calls are Nevuah. The middle is man's call, talk to God. (14) At the end of Kriyas HaTorah on the second day, why is the name of Lavan not mentioned? The grandfather of the entire Jewish people. Lavan, a rotten, wicked man that the Haggadah says he's worse than Pharaoh. Pharaoh wanted to kill only the males. He wanted to kill his own daughters and grandchildren, male and female. Why is at the end of the second day reading, after that Kedah, it says, it tells Abram's brother had some children, this and this and this and this, and Rivka, but never his brother, Lavan, her brother Lavan. It's not mentioned. Whereas the sister Rivka, the wife of the firstborn Jew, Yitzchak, is mentioned. Answer. It is Musar to us on this day. Are our names inscribed in the Sefer HaChaim like Rivka? Or are we omitted like Lavan? That's tremendously big Musar. Is your name in the book of Chaim this year? Like when you go talk about the children that Avram's brother had, Rivka, where's Lavan? She's older than him. Where's he? Not there. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned. Do we deserve to be mentioned this year? That's scary, isn't it? 15. Why do the Ramah and the Gra suggest only 3 words? Lashon Tova Tikosei. Doesn't say you should say the rest. The Gra and the Ramah, then the Ashkenaz says only 3 words. Lashon Tova Tikosei. To a good year you should be written. Not the Seichel same. You should be sealed. The Alter immediately. The Chaim Tov Ruch for a long life. That most people say this. You know why? Yeah, I know you can go to yeshivas that have Minik HaGra, but they don't have this one, so they're not really Minik HaGra. They pick some Minik HaGras. The Minik HaGra says, don't say that stuff the first night. First night? Seichel same signed up the first night. That's only for tzaddikim gemur. You're going to wish in every average person that he's a tzaddik gemur. That's chanifa, flattery. First day of Rosh Hashana, you start off with Adar the first 5 minutes. My father said, that's the reason. Start off with chanifa right away. Every guy you meet, it's a tzaddik tomer who signed up the first night. He's done. He's a tzaddik. It says that the first night of Rosh Hashana, or by the next morning, 3 hours after sunrise, 9 o'clock, it's all sealed. Either you're signed to death, you're signed Misa or Russia, and you're signed a tzaddik for life. And every person you meet is a tzaddik gomor, really? Just said Shom Tov Tikosei. However, the others will defend their saying Lashon Tov Tikosei, but Seichel saying La'al L'chaim. They wishing you would be that. It's a very legitimate reason, but there some people are makpid not to say more. That's our minhag, but the other way is wonderful too. If it's the minhag not to sleep on Rosh Hashana, because one would oversleep his mazel, why did the Ari permit sleeping on Rosh Hashana? If it's against Ari, he said his mother. It means not to oversleep the shachris, that's all. Once you daven shachris the Muslim and heard the kiyas, you're done. Why can't you take a sleep? You're over, you're done. It means don't come late to shul in the morning, because there's 6 times a year you have to come early to shul. There's 6 times a year you have to come early to shul. Vayash came Avraham Baboker. Vov, the 6th day of Sivan, when the Torah is given. Don't oversleep that. Yud, Yom Kippur. Don't oversleep. Shin, Rosh Hashana, the day of judgment. Chav, Yom Kippurim. Yom Purim. It's like Yom Kippur. The day when the Jews accepted the Torah the 2nd time out of love. And Mem, Menachem Av. Don't oversleep on Tisha B'Av. You don't feel the sadness. That you get from the 5 letters. Vayash came. Avram Baboker, you got up early. Oh, 17. Vayashkem, here it's in the next question. Vayashkem Avram Baboker is a hint to the 5 times a year one rises early. What are those 5 times? Vayashkem Vov, the 6th of Sivan, which is Shavuos, Yud, Yom Kippur. Also the 10th, Yud, 10th of Teves. Shin, Rosh Hashana, Kuf, Yom Kippurim, that's Purim. And Mem, Menachem Av. 18. If Rosh Hashanah is one of the Seres Yimei Tshuva, why aren't there any tefillos of Teshuvah in Rosh Hashanah? Or any one of the acharotos like Al Chay? Or Vido, confession? There's nothing in there Rosh Hashanah. There's no confession at all. On Yom Kippur we say it 10 times. And there's no Vido, confession, there's no charota, I'm sorry, and there's no Al Chay, and no Shamnu, none of that stuff. Even the first Albina Malkenu, you leave out the first one. Chatanu Lefanecha. You don't want to tell the judge you're guilty. You want to come out looking good. You don't tell him any averis you did. You don't confess. You want him to make. You want to make. It's a Yom Hadin. He's talking to you. You don't want to look bad, admit any faults. So it's not a day of tshuva. Why is it called the first day of tshuva? There's only 9 days of tshuva. Why do you call that Sarasmei tshuva? Let me tell you something, Rabbi Yosef Chaim. There's 2 types of tshuva. Tshuva means to return, or shuva, turn. When you're driving to Baltimore and you meant to go to Boston, the first thing is turn the car around. And then we'll step on the gas and go for it. Rosh Hashana is you're turning your life around. I do believe in God. Now, what is it that you want from me? First thing is, Tamlichuni aleichem. Make me your master. And believe in me and the Torah. You're turned in the right direction. You're in the right direction. Now we'll find out how to be a Torah Jew, how to keep the mitzvahs. Yom Kippur is turning around, not confessing. That's the next day, the next 9 days. Shuvah Yisrael, turn around. You're going the wrong direction. Now you have recognized the truth. You know what side of the bread the butter is on. Now you know the difference, that this is the direction you have to go to. Now what is it that you want of me? So you're so sorry what you did. The next day you do viduin, al-chet, and slichus, and Yom Kippur all day long. Al-shamnu, bogadnu, and viduin, and this, and charotah, and 10 times in Rosh Hashana and Yom Kippur. And you say, there's 2 types of tshuva. One is the Yom Tisha Rosh Hashana, turn around and accept God's malchus. You blow the shofar, God is the king, calling man, do tshuva. And once you're in the right direction and you have tamlichuna, accepted his malchus, that's why you say ha-melech, then you can do tshuva, the real charata part, the vidui part. $8.19. What are the 3 types of tekiyos? The 3 types of shvarim and the 2 types of teruah. I think I told you this already. Tekiyah is a monotone. The same with sometimes a hook in the beginning or a hook at the end. That's 3. The same shvarim could be 3 short blasts, doo, doo, doo. Or 3 long. 3 short shvarim could be 3 long blasts, 3 short blasts. Or 3 long blasts. 3 short blasts could be toot, toot, toot. Or 3 long blasts, woo, woo, woo. Or to hoot, to hoot, to hoot, to. Or to hoot, to hoot, to hoot. And teruah could be or all right. Number 20. Do the Chachamim have the power to eliminate the law of the Torah? If yes, then give a proof from Rosh Hashana. Yes. No shofar on Rosh Hashana if it comes out on Shabbos. So the Torah says yes, the Chachamim say no. For the fear that one may carry the shofar in the public domain if there's no Erev, and therefore he violates if it's a Shabbos. And shofar is on if it's on a Shabbos, and he violates the Shabbos to blow the shofar, rather forget about it. So therefore some man somewhere may, where it doesn't have an Erev, may forget, therefore all shuls all around the world, forever and ever and ever, no exception, don't blow on Shabbos Rosh Hashana. Because one foolish man may do this, millions of Jews forever and ever have to abstain. Suppose you have an error, suppose you don't forget, suppose the shofars in shul. We're talking about a man who didn't learn the technical way of blowing a shofar. Oh, he knows how to blow it. He doesn't know the kavanas. He has to think when he blows tekiah, shvarim, teruah, tekiah. He doesn't know how many seconds it should be. The tekiah has to be twice as long when you blow shvarim, teruah, as when you half as long when you blow tekiah only, shvarim only. The outside blast on the either end must be equal to what's inside. If you have only shvarim inside, it has to be half as long as the tekiah. If you have shvarim, teruah inside, you have to have double as long. Yeah, he didn't learn it, so he goes early in the morning to some Bucky expert who can't do it, he's too old. And he said, teach me how to do it, and he's ashamed to show up in shul, but not to know how to do it, he's embarrassed, and he waited for the last minute. So he may go to a Bucky to learn how to do it. Because of one fool, we have to change the law in the Shulchan Aruch? And my father asked that question in the Mayan Beis Sheva. What do you think is the answer? Why do you think we did do this? So we eliminated the law of shofar, and we do it the next day. Even in Eretz Yisrael, because they have 2 days Rosh Hashana. But suppose before they had 2 days, they had 1 day. Now what? So in Rosh Hashana, if the Bezdin blew and everybody heard it in the whole city, they would not forget. The Gemara gives a reason, because they were on such a high level, they would never forget. And But it still doesn't answer the question, because one foolish man, everybody has to suffer. It wants you to show you the power of the Chachamim. And the same thing with Esther. She told the Jews to fast for 3 days. Erev Pesach, and the second day Pesach. The Torah says you have to eat on Pesach at night. Matzah, she said no. So you see, you can violate a positive mitzvah for a moment, once in history, Horas Sha'ah, only by Chachamim or Nevi'im, and Chachamim are equal to Nevi'im, and actually they're greater than Nevi'im, because Esther was a Nevi'ah. Chacham Adif Mi Navi, a Talmud Chacham is bigger than Navi, because the Talmud Chacham figured it out with his own mind, and the Navi got it directly by a pipe, by a transmission. So a Chacham Adif Mi Navi. But both of them can make gezeres for the moment, if they're accredited people that are known where they come from, and they've been around, and they've been certified that they're real Nevi'im. And of course, Mordechai and Esther were Nevi'im. They wrote the Megillus Esther. It was written by Tuna. It says Ksubim, written by Ruach HaKodesh. So, So the reason that because one man may carry the shofar, we show you the power of Chachamim. They have a power to overstep the Torah. Now, suppose, you may violate Shabbos if it comes out on Shabbos. How come if Yom Kippur comes out on Shabbos, in the time of the Yovel, they blew shofar? Why? Why? If it comes down to Shabbos, why don't you, make us say no? You can't blow shofar on Shabbos Yom Kippur once every 50 years on Yovel, because maybe the person will forget to prepare and they'll carry in a $1. Why did you say about that? No, that you don't say, because you can only have Yovel when you have a Sanhedrin, and that will never happen, because the person will, once in 50 years, he won't forget. This is once a year. Why would he forget? There's a very deep question to this. There's much more. I don't want to go into it. It's not shaykh for Yom Kippur, Shabbos, Yovel. And it's highly not shaykh for a man on Shabbos, and Shabbos Rosh Hashana comes out often, to make such a mistake. Believe me, he won't wait till the last minute to learn, so why do you make such a law? There's much more to this than I'm telling you right now. We have to finish this tape, this video, because I can't go into it. Yohanavi also violated a negative, not to bring any korbanos on outside of Shiloh, but he went to Har Carmel, which is near Haifa, and he brought a korban. But then he slaughtered 850 Nevi'ei Sheker, false rabbis. That was a moment, Harosh Shah, by Elor HaNavi, everybody knew who he was. That was to break up idol worship in Klal Yisrael. That was an exception. So Esther broke a positive mitzvah, or nullified a positive mitzvah. The Chachamim nullified a positive mitzvah of blowing shofar. She nullified a positive mitzvah of eating matzah. And the Navi even could violate a negative thing of not bringing a korban outside of their Shiloh. One more question. 21. Then we finish, and you have to read yourself. Just download it and print it on Torah anytime. Number 21. Pasuk 21 will be the last pasuk. Last question. Why do we blow shofar in Elul when there's no such mitzvah? Because of the pasuk, Ani ledodi v'dodi li. Ani ledodi v'dodi Elul. The first letter is Elul, and each one of them end with a yud. Ani ledodi v'dodi li. 40. Moshe came down after 40 days, and when he came down after 40 days, the first time, they were making an egel. So he went up with again 40 days, and they blew the shofar every day. Then he went up again 40 days, they blew the shofar again every day. And we say the David Hashem Ori for 40 days, the whole month Elul plus into Yom Kippur. Some people say longer, but 40 is very important. So because of the pasuk Ani ledodi v'dodi li, and Shir Hashirim Vav Gimel, the Rosh Hateva spells Elul, and it means he is very close to us in Elul. We're calling to him, please help me. And when you call him in Slichos, when he's very close to you, it says you have to say Slichos Bashmodas Haboker, in the early morning. You know what that means? Way before suns arise, before Alos. In New York now, sun rises 6:45, and 42 minutes from that. Before that is 6:03, That's called Alos HaShachar. You have to be finished by 6:03, not start at 7:30 or 7 o'clock. So the people that still have some koiches left in them, like the people used to have until 100 years ago, they said it Bashmoris Boker, like I said in Shulchan Aruch, when it's pitch black outside, not after sunrise, not even before sunrise. You have to finish before Alos HaShachar, which is 42 minutes before 6:45, which is 6:03. Finished. That's Alos. And 42 minutes later is Nesachamo. But people do it, big yeshivas do it. I guess the boys can't handle that and then learn all day. And the great Gedol Yisrael's Paskin, it's mutter, better Talmud Torah than Slichas. Early Slichas, even though it says you should minimize your learning and maximize your Slichas, but you can't fight the trend of people that are weak. Except one thing, when you have to catch a plane to go to Israel, and the plane leaves at 6:30, you're there at 4:30, and you got up 3 o'clock. How come you did it? Because you're motivated. Otherwise, you're going to lose your $1,900 trick ticket, or the $2,800 tourist. What do you call it? The business class. Oh, you're motivated. Or if you want to go on a fishing trip, you got to leave at 3 because you got to get on the lake before sunrise, 5 o'clock. How come you're motivated? How come? Because whatever you're motivated for, you'll do. Boys, I have a good yontif. Kasiva v'chasima tovim, tizku l'shanim rabot. And let us wish this year, Tov Shin Ayin Beis, is the year of the Geula. And if you want to know, I have a very good hint why it's going to happen on Tiv Shin Ayin Beis, or the end of Tov Shin Ayin Aleph. And I have listened to my Kol HaLoshen Shir about 5 shiurim ago. We're up to Shir 1945. Go to 1940, you'll hear how the Gematria works out. 2011, Tov Shin Ayin Aleph. Okay? A good yontiv, everybody. Zayk